Welcome back, YouTube. If you are interested in dropping body fat, therefore retaining muscle and/or building muscle, listen up. Your sleep plays a huge part in that goal. And if you're looking for the best results possible, not only in that goal, but in health in general, you need to start taking your sleep seriously. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 big tips in how to improve your sleep and therefore your fat loss and your results. If you do find this video helpful, please do drop a like. If you have any questions throughout, throw them down below, I'll get back to you. If you haven't already, please do go ahead and subscribe because it helps me out a ton, but it also helps you keep up to date with future videos which are going to help you and your goals. Okay, quickly before we get into the 5 tips to help improve your sleep and therefore your fat loss and your results, let me just walk you through why, very quickly, sleep is so important. Number 1, there has been studies to show that men who got under 6 hours sleep a night had testosterone levels similar to those of people who are 10 years older than them. Now, if we're looking at retaining or building muscle mass, that could play a big part. Secondly, once again, there's been results to suggest that those who get less sleep, normally typically 6 or under, are at a much higher chance of injury. And if we're looking at training consistently to help us with the retention of muscle mass, building muscle mass, or even just fat loss in terms of energy expenditure, obviously we don't want to get injured. If we get injured, that means time out. That means our results being negatively impacted. Number 3, a lack of sleep has been shown to have influence on our hunger hormones, leading to increased consumption in the following days. So lack of sleep is actually shown to result in a 200 to 300 calorie increase. So if we're looking at fat loss and we're trying to keep ourselves in a calorie deficit, those extra 200 to 300 calories a day, is going to make that goal and make that target, should I say, a lot harder. Number 4, there's been studies again to show that when it comes to fat loss, if you get a lack of sleep, it increases the chances of that fat loss, of the weight that you are losing, coming from muscle mass rather than fat mass. Now this one is huge. If we're trying to go down the result of retaining muscle mass and just dropping body fat, getting good quality sleep and getting enough sleep is then massive in doing exactly that. And if we get a lack of sleep, the opposite can happen. And that's just sleep for our goals. The impact sleep has on health, we could be here all day. For mental health, for physical health, we could be here all day. So I'm not going to get into that. But just understand, if you want to, just improve your health in general, let alone fat loss, muscle retention, building muscle mass, you have to make sure your sleep is as good as it can be. If your sleep is not good, you're taking it for granted, you are genuinely doing your health a disservice. You are negatively impacting your health, your goal, and your results if you are not getting good quality sleep. Okay, so less of the negative impacts of not getting good sleep. How do we get good sleep? I'm going to walk you through it right now. Number 1, strict wake and sleep times. Your body gets good at getting into a routine. And similarly with sleep, your body gets good at getting into a routine of wake times and sleep times. So you want to try and make sure that you're sticking to relatively strict times that you're going to go to sleep and times that you're going to wake up. So if possible, even let's say on weekends, try and keep these times similar to what you would do through the week. Try not to have days where these wake times, sleep times are massively different to your usual average day. If you've ever been someone who has, for whatever reason, maybe not out of choice, their sleep routine has changed and you've had to try and force it back into one that you would like, if you've ever seen how hard and difficult that is, you should get an idea of why having strict sleep and wake times is so important. Number 2, reduce the artificial light. Okay, so artificial light simply being the lights on in your house, lamps. Ideally, you want to match the light inside your house to the light outside. So you want to try and mimic natural light, okay, because your body will respond to the natural light in relation to feeling tired as the light reduces and waking up as the light increases. Okay, so simply put, on a nighttime, we want to reduce artificial light as much as possible to essentially mimic the darkness of outside. There was a study done where they took people out into the wild, I think it was in the Rockies, where there was no artificial light, and they looked at how quick it took them to fall to sleep, and they then compared that to the time that these individuals said they normally go to sleep. And the times they fell to sleep outside with no artificial light was 2 hours earlier than what they claimed was their normal sleep times. That just shows you how much of an impact artificial light has. Thirdly, reduce blue light. So blue light is the light that is emitted from stuff like phones, computers, laptops. We want to try and make sure that we are reducing this as much as possible or eliminating it. Blue light suppresses your melatonin production, okay? Melatonin simply being like the master sleep hormone, okay? It helps you make you feel sleepy, helps promote sleep. So if this is being suppressed, it's only going to negatively impact our sleep quality. So try and eliminate blue light if you can. This is a big one because everyone spends their life on their phone. And if we're being honest with ourselves, we probably all use our phone in the evening, okay? So you'll probably find a huge benefit from reducing that phone or that time on screens, that exposure. If you can't do that, I say that in a humorous way, but in this day and age, people genuinely struggle to keep their phone away. Try and get a blue light filter. Blue light filters are just going to reduce the blue light that's being emitted from these devices. Number 4, try and keep your sleep environment, so the room you're going to sleep in, nice and cool. Your body needs to drop temperature by like 2 to 3 degrees to help promote sleep. So we want to try and make sure your room and the room you're trying to sleep in is nice and cool, okay? If you've ever tried to sleep when it's been very hot, just generally, if there's been a heat wave or whatnot, you'll know how hard and terrible it is to get to sleep. Sometimes there's not a lot you can do about it if, for example, there is a heat wave, but just try your best to keep your room as cool as possible. You can actually take a warm bath or shower, let's say an hour before bed, which actually helps your body cool itself down. If you also wear socks and gloves, not sure many people wear gloves to bed, but sometimes people wear socks, that can actually also help drop your core body temperature and therefore promote sleep. And then lastly, but also very important, is we just want to make sure we're trying to relax as best as we can before we go to sleep. Going to sleep is obviously a relaxed state. And if we're going to sleep stressed, wound up, that is only going to negatively impact our sleep quality. So whatever you do 2 to 3 hours before bed, alongside all the other things we've just been going through, you need to try and make sure you are doing things that are going to help you relax. So there you have it. 5 ways to improve your sleep quality and why sleep is so important. Again, if you're looking for optimal health, optimal results, start taking your sleep seriously. Start prioritizing it. Because if you don't, and you take it for granted, you're setting yourself back when it comes to your goal and your health. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like. If you have any questions throughout, throw them down below. I'll get back to you. And if you haven't already, please do go ahead and subscribe. It helps me out a ton. It also helps you with your future goals because you can keep up to date with future videos. Take care.